for joining us again. Welcome, as always, to our Zipinar, which we incorporate two wonderful topics for 1 hour and getting you the bliss of knowledge for such a period of time with the very vast information that you gather from two seasoned and wonderful speakers that we have today. So, we have two new topics, and we appreciate your time joining us through our platforms, which are YouTube and Facebook, as we go live. So feel free to join. And also for those who can join the Zoom, please do so you can interact with our speakers directly. Now, for the first topic today, it is titled Three Science Backed Ways on How Kindness Improves Your Health. So the wash over feeling that you experience when you do something kind to others is not in your head. Scientists have attached it to your brain chemicals. That's very interesting, right? Now, here to deliver this topic is Dr. Diana Ranjaves, which is a founder at Clinical Consultant Services and also a Google Scholar, holds a doctorate from University of California, who has extensive experience and expertise in all levels of content creation, SEO keywords, optimization, and website content. So, founding Clinical Consultant Services and DianaRanjaves.com. So, without further ado, let's proceed and listen to Dr. Diana.
Thank you very much for having me here. If anyone wants more information on the topics I'm speaking about and additional, just go to dianarangaves.com and hit my blog. And the doggy you just saw in the frame is Coco. So she was sleeping behind me and decided to make an appearance so you could see her.
We welcome Coco as well.
She is my act of kindness that I am reminded to be grateful and have a level of abundance every day. She's a rescue dog, and she brings me peace and contentment. And what I'd like to address today are three things that kindness, being kind to others, being kind to animals, being kind to yourself as far as self-care is important. And I am stunned that the other speaker is doing social change, because these two topics marry very, very well. And our society has appeared to be gotten away from kindness, but that's not true. We don't see 99% of the kind acts that are going on. And it's important also that kindness is an introspective, and reflective, and to do something nice for somebody else and not post it on Facebook, not post it on LinkedIn, not set it up so you do a TikTok reel. It's private. It's between you and your higher self and source. And it takes away from the goodness of the act when it's posted all over social media. And I do believe that 99% of our world does do good acts. It's just that the media focuses on the 1%. So let's talk about how and why being kind and being helpful to others is an advantage to you, even though it seems to be in a roundabout way. And what I'm talking about in kindness is if a neighbor calls you and says, I've fallen, I can't get up. No matter what you're doing at that point, you're able to go and help. It's going through the drive-through and realizing the lady or man behind you might have had a tough day, and you placed your order and you pay for the order behind and you take off before that person even has the idea that their coffee and croissant has been paid for. It's taking in a stray animal when you can. It's being the link or the relay between two things. And the first thing is it releases neurotransmitters in our body. They're called the feel-good hormones. And these feel-good hormones are serotonin, dopamine, and endorphins. And these release a satisfaction level, a contentment level. And this hormonal burst is almost like exercise, but you're getting it from a very passive, kind gesture to somebody else, in helping somebody else. And these neurotransmitters are also called the helper's high. And the reason is it's because we are programmed to be a community. We are programmed to be a network. Our brains function better in a community. A solo person will not last as long from our ancestors out in the wilderness against the saber-toothed tiger than a community of villagers, because you have that strength to pull in. You might be skilled at communication where somebody else might be skilled at catching fish. And so when you have that satisfaction level, that community foundation level, we were never meant to do this by ourselves. The number 2 benefit is having that foundation eases anxiety. The vibration of anxiety goes through every single person on this planet. Even animals feel anxiety. And by doing acts of kindness, by facilitating social change, maybe just on your personal one-to-one interactions, doesn't necessarily need to be on the big screen of politics. It eases anxiety. You know you are never alone. It enhances a sense of belonging. We need to belong to a community. Some of us sometimes feel we don't fit in, and that raises our level of anxiety. But by participating in different acts of kindness, it alleviates that anxiety, and we start to fit in with our network. The other thing that it is good is, believe it or not, it's good for your heart. The phrase kind people have a big heart. Well, it's not literally a big heart, but it does help our heart. And it is good for you because it gives you a sense of perspective that, hey, you know what? I'm not the only one in this situation. I am not alone. Other people for millenniums have gone through this before. Everything cycles. You know, people talk about the circle of life. Well, it's a spiral. And it just, think of a spiral, here's perception, on an angle going around and around and around. And each section is a growth experience. And taking these concepts feed our attitude of gratitude. And by doing this, we release another neurotransmitter called oxytocin. When a woman gives birth to a baby, women tend to worry that they're not going to bond with their baby during the pregnancy. How am I going to love this child that's growing inside of me? When the birth process is in full swing, oxytocin is released. And oxytocin is the neurochemical that helps bonding. And it makes us feel good. And it gives us that attitude of gratitude. So think of this as you're bonding with other people in your community, not to get married, not to for something gained, but the gain is a perceptual field that you might not have met this person for 2 minutes on the bus stop. And what can they show you? What can they reflect back to you in your life so that you have a positive growth experience? Let's talk about negativity. There's a lot of negativity out there, and you need to get into the habit and practice of muting it. Does it take work? Yes. Does it take energy? Yes. And the payoff is that it eases your anxiety. It helps you fit in to where you need to be, your sense of belonging, and peace, because that's really what we want. We want the opportunity to make a living and better ourselves, and we want peace. The other thing is that we also need a sense of purpose. And by being kind or volunteering, where is your passion? Is it politics? Is it helping animals? Is it serving the elderly? Where is your passion? Once you join that community and it's authentic and you like it, you start to radiate those neurotransmitters and you radiate a glow that other people can see. What happens next in this relay race? It's contagious. You have learned and seen from other people that, hey, I've had this instructor and they were just so up, I could feel the energy. Well, you were absorbing that. You can be the same spot of light for others. Hold the candle and the flame for others. And it is contagious because neurochemically, we have mirror neurons. After this presentation, when you have a moment, Google what is mirror neurons. And you will find that for us to survive these hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years, we've developed mirror neurons in our brain. And that's how we learn. Those of you who have had children, they watch you. They mirror back how you play. They mirror back how you work. They mirror back how you hold your hands. It's the same concept when we are interacting with others. All of a sudden, you might pick up a word from, how did that word get into my brain? Well, you were spending 10 minutes with this person having coffee, and every other word on this person was this particular word. That's our mirror neurons. If you like the behavior, if you like the perception, if you feel that it enhances your growth, then we keep it. If we find the opposite is true, we discard it. Our personalities and character is very, very fluid. We can choose the behaviors that we want. We are not bound in by family, by legacy, by DNA. We can make choices. And that's where your higher self comes in. That's where our higher self comes in as far as kindness and helping others. And I'm done. We'll take some questions if anyone has questions, or if you, I see something on the chat. Hang on one moment. Is that for me on the chat?
That's the definition for the mirror neuron.
Oh, excellent. Thank you for doing that. Thank you very much. So you've got the definition there. And I'll take any questions, but this is what is important in my life. And as we grow and mature and change and our emotional intelligence gets enhanced, I hope that you will find being kind spreads.
Well, that's perfect. Thank you so much for that wonderful discussion. Now we are open to definitely answer questions or interactions from the audience, from panelists and attendees. So yeah, you can unmute or you can type it in the chat. We'll definitely read it for you.
And if there aren't any questions, then I have an esteemed colleague on this webinar, and we'll pass it over to her on social change.
Okay, now.
Oh, hi, Diana.
Hi.
I think it's a great session with a lot of clarity. I think the way you spoke, each sentence meant a lot, and learned about the helper's high, mirror neurons, and how they all are interrelated. For our to create the health as well. That's very interesting. So yeah, great session. And so what do you do, just as a general question, what do you do as part of your career or any other aspects?
Sure. Well, my first career was as a pharmacist, a clinical pharmacist. Then I went to academia and taught at a college for 15 years. And now I take all those transferable skills, all the things the universe taught me and all my experiences. And now it's dianarangaves.com. And I write content. I speak. I have some books out. I am ghostwriting. So if someone would like an article, but they're not too sure of the grammar, they know what they want to say, they know what they want to come across, I help them message that. I write it and then we massage it back once they give me some feedback on the edits. I write books for people. So if you're a subject matter expert and you would like to have a book written, reach out to me and we can at least have a conversation. Conversations don't cost anything. We can be kind to each other and both walk away with benefits. I just typed in my website there, and I will also type in my direct email address. I do not mind engaging with people. As I said, 99% of people are kind at heart. It's the trolls and the negative people that are seemingly getting all the PR, but they're not the majority. Remember, there's a balance in the universe. It's 49% and 51%, and the 51% vibrate at a much higher level. We have a higher level of integrity, and good will always win. Even though sometimes getting up in the morning and you're seeing all this stuff, limit your social media for your own mental health. People never had social media for hundreds of thousands of years. We're the first generation, more or less, to have this. So if it's affecting your mental health, if it's affecting your perception of who you are, stop, get off of it. You are good enough, just the way you are. And as the universe is helping you grow, you are good enough. You have abundance. Look for God, look for source in every single thing that goes throughout your day. You are enough and you are not alone. If those are two messages to help your kindness, to take away from this, I've accomplished my mission for social change. And what a great lead in for the next topic. Because if you're finding impassioned by this, then there are physical things that you can do in your community, in your church, in your work environment, in your family environment. And the other piece is seek and ye shall find, but you also have to be asked. If somebody doesn't want to know, doesn't want to see, you cannot take the blinders off. It'll have to come from inside.
Thank you. And can I open just a short question? Like this is for the young adults, like me or other young adults right now. If you are familiar, doctor, with the term like friend zoned, is it because of the generic kindness, like they're having anxiety in terms of getting into a relationship because of that terminology, being friend zone, because of the kind of kindness probably that they give? I'm not really sure if I positioned the question properly, but yeah, that's
You did. I understand the question, but you're going to have to give me a definition of friend zone. That's not my generation.
I
So
see.
tell me what that encompasses. And then
It yeah, the definition itself explains about the person wanting to get into a relationship, but then they are just considered to be just a friend of the someone that they like.
I see. Okay. I've been on the planet a long time. You are setting yourself up for hurt. If you see someone and the energy from them is telling you, I want more. You want maybe a more intimate relationship. You want to marry them. You want them to be your boyfriend or girlfriend. But they're telling you, stop. I want to just be friends. You're setting yourself up for hurt if you pursue it. It's called fool's. In my day, it was called fool's gold. Well, I'm getting this vibe that this is my forever soulmate, and it's fool's gold. It is the false god. It is fake. And you have to learn to use your critical thinking skills to discern truth from false, goal from ungoal. What is my goal? Well, my goal is XYZ, and to find a companion that matches me in most of the important things. What is ungoal? For me to expend my energy, my love, my kindness, my lack of boundaries for this other person who doesn't respect me, who's already told me they only want to be friends. It's a self-protecting mechanism. So you really need to look at it. And if you go after someone who has already told you, I'm not in real world, I'm not attracted to you in that way, you're setting yourself up for pain and hurt. So what is a remedy for that? A remedy is to pull back, not emotionally, not anger. If you're angry, work it out because it's you. Anger will kill your cells. Anger harbors in our cells and causes dis-ease. Take your anger out on the bicycle. Go scream someplace in a private room. Go for a walk. Come to terms with it. And then you start creating a new community through kindness, through social change. Go volunteer someplace. Get out of that social network, because every time you see that person now, there may be some pain involved, or you may be embarrassed. You have nothing to be embarrassed about. If you put your feelings forward and they were rejected, that's fine. That's part of life. It's part of us learning the process of, they're not a good fit for me. The universe is telling me they're not a good fit for me. And you move on, and there is somebody for everybody. You may not find them till you're 75 years old. That's quite possible, because during this time, your agreement when you came here was to accomplish other things. We all have agreements when we come. And some of those agreements are to marry and have children. Some of them are not. And so getting in touch with who you are, your perspective of who you are. You are a divine being. You are an energetic being who was sent here to do good. And getting in touch with whatever your agreement is part of the learning process. Because we don't know what our agreement is until we start engaging in community, engaging in people. You've walked up to people or had teachers or community members, and you're going, oh, I got to stay away from her, bad vibes. Or I feel good vibes, but let your higher self talk to you. And your higher self does not talk to you in high emotional situations. That's why you have to work out your anger, your fear, your anxiety. You work it out, you put into place coping skills, and you go to sleep that night. And while you're sleeping, you wake up in the morning and you will have one piece of the puzzle. You will not see the bigger picture yet, but you will have one piece, and it's one foot in front of the other. You take the first stair or step, and then you climb the next stair or step when it's presented to you, because it's not on our time, it's on divine time. And I hope that answered your question, because for us to be a good companion, the stewardship, the obligations, you have to be good to yourself. And pursuing someone who's already told you friend zone is not being authentic to you. You are hurting you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It was really a great answer, and definitely will be helpful to
I
those
hope
young
so.
ones who are still striving, and for those who are young adults who have already considered themselves like hopeless romantic in some cases. All right, so such a good experience that you have shared to us, Dr. Diana. Thank you so much for that
Thank
one.
you.
And if anyone in the audience thinks that I'm one of those young adults, I'm not one of those. I'm not denying. But if you really think so, maybe we really need a social change. Now, so we can really go forward for the next topic for today, which is social problems. Is there a need for change in their meaning? So that's the next topic for today. It says change is an important fact of social life. It's an omnipresent phenomena, and it's everywhere. Now, as mentioned by Dr. Dana earlier, a an esteemed colleague of hers that will be delivering this topic for us today, which is Pushpa NM, Administrative Manager at Elder Labs R&D Private Limited. So, and also she's an Indian scribe, an IT professional, social activist, and volunteer. So as of 2019, upon my research, she was reported to have completed writing over 1,000 exams for visually impaired people since 2007. She also maintains a Facebook blog page for blood donors. She received the Nari Shakti Puraskar for the year 2018 from the Indian President Ramnath Kovind on 8th March 2019, coinciding with the International Women's Day. And this Shakti Puraskar, Nari Shakti Puraskar is the highest. What do you call that, Pushpa, for a civilian? Uh, well, definitely, it's a big honor to have her in this platform. So without further ado, let's give the floor to Pushpa.
It was really amazing to be hearing about the kindness from Dr. Diana. It's mind-blowing information that she passed to the youngsters, and yes, about the social media too. Yes, to everyone, hello and welcome to today's webinar session about the social problem. Is there any need for a change in their meaning? And I'm very happy to share a few details and my experiences too. Yeah, see, we all are humans, like to think we have an objective knowledge of the world we live in. It is assumed that, what we perceive on a daily basis is the reality. With the reality being roughly and the same for everyone, but it is an illusion. And if you say, take for two people, see or you experiences the world in the same way that they experiences. What we precise is our own personal visions and of the reality. So releasing this is a critical step in our understanding of human nature. Now, if you talk human beings, they have a mindset. Everyone has a mindset, right? So what is this mindset? In the simple terms, the mindset is how we view the process, and the world around it influences how we think, we feel, and act. In any situations, our mindsets is impacting us every moment of every day, whether we realize it or not. And the attitude that we carry with us throughout the life is several roots. It has got a huge roots. So yeah, today when we're talking about the mindset, I could really, I had read about in one of the Twitter where one of my team members had shared this one. You must all be knowing about zeal, which is called SEALS. It's got three pillars of mindset. That is, one is your presence, another one is your patience, and what we deliberate, which is very beautiful, which is apt for our in every daily routines. So today, when we're talking about the social problems, probably I could guess that, okay, I could speak about this three, which is very essential for humans. And it is also apt for us in every daily routines in our work, or what we think, how we present ourselves, how do we have patience, and I think the kindness, what ma'am was talking also. So when we are talking about the social problems, there are a lot of social changes that we need to bring. Okay? We have to empower the citizens, which it encourages the individuals to take a stand against things that we find wrong and work with other people to remove them from the society. And the social change is important as it is, and empowers citizens so that they can make the life better for the future generations, and which is really very apt for me. I do feel that, okay, social change, which is a concept that many of us take for granted or don't really even understand what society has ever remained the same. Changes is always happening, and we accept the changes as inevitable. And it is in the end of the story, right? We are not exactly what interests me is what I hope interests you in our collective power to influences the social change, while we accept that changes is a constant. We do not have to accept, that we have a powerless, and in its wake, it is an extended to which we care about the directions of the social changes, and that we try to shape it and help to create the kind of change we wish to see in the world. Whether we are Gandhi actually uttered these words, I'm sure that we must be reading in one of our quotes of the Gandhi that word doesn't matter. What matters is that the phrases begs the questions. What kind of change do we wish to see in the world? Change begins with how and where how we interact with others. These are the changes that we would like to bring in the society. And I also have a few questions that I myself had put across, to ask what changes we can bring? What is that changes that needed? How do these social changes affect people's life also? Do you think that change is a good for the society? I'm pretty much sure that many people might accept this one. See, change can teach us to adopt and help to develop our resiliences, but only if we understand our own capacity for growth and learning. When we change make us better, it is because we have learned how to turn challenging situations to our advantages, and not merely because the change happens. So how social problem is related to social change means social problems are a part of a price of a social change. Like a period of a rapid change maybe bring about the disequilibrium and disorganization of the formal functioning of the society. It might be like advertisement or social change also is considered like generally desirable in society, may participate and increase the social problems. So for example, if you're asking the social problem can be created by change, yes, there are merely two aspects of a dynamic, of a self-contained processes, like that is a change that brings in problems, and the problems bringing a change follows the problem, and it just keeps on going on. That's how the social problem may be created to make a change. So as we just keep talking about this, is do you think, sorry, excuse me, okay, do you think that change is a good in the society, as a change can teach us to adopt many things? For me, basically, I am happy to accidentally come into this scribing. I happened to pass and travel and crossing the road. I happened to meet a boy, a student who was visually impaired student, and of course, like the day was changed my life. Like then when I was just interacting with him and just asking, how do you people, lead your life, routine every day? How you're not able to visualize or see. You don't have a vision to see and understand anything. It's only a touch and feel that you people have to just go through. How do you deal with these kind of challenges? And what he said, that the kind of the phrase that he put across to me is, when people like you come forward, we will move forward. Look at the sentence, how it triggers. That triggered me, and I said, yes, why can't I do that? I can also do something, right? When every person is not very happy, everyone has their own personal problems, and keeping that in the mind, looking back my personal views and all everything, I thought, let me give it a try. And that was a try that I just gave. And I wanted to solve the problems, like, how to solve that social problem of them being, helping them to move their career forward. That is like, we human beings, like me, an individual person, can just spend 3 hours time for them to, move their careers to the next levels. And that 3 hours, only the 3 hours that which you are giving them, is creating their life patterns. It's creating their life education. It's creating their body. It's moving everything. The changes. This is what we call as change. I'm removing the poverty. I'm removing their education problems. I'm removing, the negativity of them thinking that I can't move. I don't get the scribes. I do more. Like, yes, you can do something. Something is better than nothing that you can do to people. Like, today I was just, when I was just volunteering, I just saw a t-shirt with volunteering. What is volunteering? It is really not paid. Volunteers are really not paid, but volunteers get 5 words to their life. You know what that 5 words are? 5 things. You can call it 5 things, 5 words, whatever you call it. It's SMILE, smile. The smile really takes to the upper level of these anybody else. So, and that is how the social problems can be solved. You only have to focus on the outlets. You set the measures of the goals with the scary deadline. Focus on obvious things. Build a broadcast team, possibly like you build your volunteer. You can tell your friends. You can create a group. You can make them to be in the group. Put it across the content that what people needs in today's society is. You experiment these short cycles, like, just feeding 5 people with your own cost. Doesn't matter. It's not that huge. You have to give that. Every Sundays we provide 5 lunches, 5 beautiful lunches for people. At least on one day they can have a one full meal with very peace and everything that they can get. And this is what we can bring the changes in that thing, and we can prevent these problems also. So yeah, I felt like, I just wanted to give beautiful what do you call that, concepts, like, you should never be afraid of change. You may lose something good, but you may gain something even better also, right? What I felt is like, I have written this down for myself. Actually, I just wanted to share this with you all today. Just a moment, let me just take it, this one. Yeah, I was just reading when they gave me this topic about, social problems and social changes. Like, I felt like, why should we give up? Any human beings should not really give up and be afraid of a change. There might be a good days, there might be a bad days. Also, you must accept it, like whatever it is. And like, changes are one of the best amazing things that happen to human life. And we are all born, and from that time the world keeps giving you more and more information. We grow up slowly, we learn the difference between the good and the bad. I was just talking about this, and we develop our own perspective to see the world and the drastic changes of our nature, which helps us to grow. We commit mistakes and we learn from them. These learnings helps us in upcoming the days of our lives, and the changes are good. They help us to grow as a person, a beautiful person. With changes, you may be losing something good, but nothing even greater might also come with it. So have no fear and stay strong, and you can change each and everyone's life. And yeah, this is what my quote is for today's. And I end up this session for today. And thank you so much for all the team members for giving me a good opportunity to talk about things. Last but not the least, but I would like to share one PPT with you all, which just gives you a glimpse of what you can do, what you can bring a change in people's life. Just a moment, let me just share that one for you. I'm sharing a screen of, yeah. slide is slide. Yes. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. So my first slide is all about the social change. Okay. And the second one, you must all be knowing in the present society, what is the changes that people are needed. One is child abuses, another one is sanitary, and another one is like poverty, and another one is like sex harassment, another one is unemployment, and another one is without people with food and out with the shelter. They don't have anything, they just have the world openly. Wherever they can just go, they can just leave there, and then these are all the problems that society has. Can anybody tell me that yes, there is a solution for these all? Only thing is, if you have a good mindset, you can have challenge for yourself, you can motivate yourself. There's nothing that difficult, like when we are talking about empty, if you cut down e and the last word and the middle word, empty still stays as an empty, right? But even if you erase that empty also, it is an empty. You can fill there anything in that phrases. It will never be anything empty for ourselves, right? And that's how this slide shows. And this is one of the activity that I do for the slum kids, where we just go and teach them, the tribal kids too. And that's how important the education is there. And social change can bring immense thing while educating people, bringing them the awareness. And this is one of my scribes things which I was doing it. So yeah, I'll just show the pictures and I'll talk a little bit about the scribing also. This is the one which I was talking about a few minutes back. And this is the exact picture. I was yesterday, I think, on the Independence Day, and happy Independence Day to everyone. And when I was traveling on the road yesterday, the Independence Day, I found this girl who was studying in the road, in the footpath. Our mother has a shop where she stitches the slippers, and she's her daughter, and she had a lot of interest about things. Without her knowledge, I clicked the spike, and I found that the interest of the girl who wants to study and see this is the way this you can also bring. You can sit there and teach her and come back. That's also a change for the society. At least she'll gain on that one day few information about the education and what she's studying. You can give her an impact also. So this one which I really wanted to share with you. Yeah, and as I told you that in my earlier conversations that at least you can feed 5 people to have a good meal one day at least. So these are the one which is my we just go out and look out for the shelterless people. There are food baths and we provide them one day lunch. Yes, you can reach me out in my social network. And these are my links. I'm sure that I'm always there available. LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. You can get in touch with me if you need anything, or if you need more information how you can volunteer and spend your time and make the world a beautiful world. So if you do have any questions, do get back to me and I would be happy to answer your queries. Thank you so much. I would be stopping to share this. Yes, the forum is open for the Q&A.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for a well-delivered and a very touching experience and a story you have shared regarding the social problems and about volunteering. Like social problems is solved definitely by volunteering, and it is a type of responsibility when most often like they tend to like avoid in terms of because like volunteering is not a simple way that you just decided to be kind today and not tomorrow. Like it's a dedication as far as I understand it. Definitely. So now we wish to for the audience to interact through question, insights, or if you wish to communicate offline, those links that was shared earlier on the slides, please connect to Pushpa. So please free to unmute and or just type it in. I can read it for you.
My Instagram is this. This is my Insta. And Facebook, okay, and of course I'm also in LinkedIn, Pushpa, okay. This is my LinkedIn.
Are you putting?
Yeah,
I can't see.
I put across in the chat. Actually, you can just.
No, I think you have to choose everyone or something because I don't see that.
Oh, is it? Okay. You couldn't see that chat. Okay. Yeah. Can you see now?
Yes, I think.
Yes. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So.
The host.
Yeah. So Pushpa, that's a great bundle of experiences that you shared, and it's not only about talk it, but you showed how to do it as well, which is the hardest part. We may have great intentions, but really take them to action is really what it takes for the change. So I mean, a lot of kudos to your great effort. We'll definitely stay in touch and see wherever there are some synergies.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Srini. And yeah, any other attendees or panelists? Okay, so I believe so. It's pretty well delivered and very clear that the message has been shared to everyone, not just to the Zoom and also through our Facebook Live and YouTube. So for those who haven't had the time to join earlier, you can definitely review this recorded session on our YouTube channel. So, and since we do not have any questions, I guess we will call it a day definitely. So, again, we thank you, Pushpa, and for Dr. Diana to be joining us today, sharing us about how kindness impacts people. Like I've just learned recently, like one way of doing kindness in your own way is just that if you see someone not wearing their smile, so you give them yours. So that's little act of kindness that definitely will change disposition of the other person that you're interacting with. Um, and this is a wonderful session for today. We appreciate the time and the effort of the speakers. Dr. Diana may have left already. And Pushpa, thank you so much for giving us your time and sharing us your experience in this platform. So we hope to definitely see more of this topic in the upcoming sessions. And also, please visit our website, which is LetUsTalkIt.com, as we do professional webinars and we also have youth webinars, which our young individuals are starting to make changes through their through sharing their thoughts as well. So if you have young individuals in your network, Pushpa, that wish to impart as well the same goals that you have with their age bracket in some areas, definitely you can have them register at our website. So we'd be happy to have them. And
definitely.
All right, that's perfect. So again, thank you so much everyone for joining us today. There are webinars or sessions that we end very late as we have to extend, and there are sessions that like this that our messages are very clear and crisp, and we have few minutes to spare before the exact time ends. But our goal today is to garner the knowledge that we need in the shortest time possible. So thank you so much again for joining us, and we hope to see you again next Wednesday, the same time and the same platform. Let us talk it. And
Thank you.
so please do take care, everyone, and have a great evening and have a great day.